And it just, to me, it was just horrified. I just thought to myself, well, if he makes it out of this, we've finally hit the ceiling. You know, there's a barometer to everything, and there's a stopping point to everything, and we just saw it.
And Graham, he asked a question. Arn, I'm curious, have you been able to watch any of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes so far this season?
Well, I watched Hell in the Cell, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I've said many times, kudos to Mick Foley for what he has done with his body for the good of the business. And it's just, some of this stuff, it just is beyond me how you not forget about walking away. You know, how you don't just be completely, totally just decimated by some of the stuff he has done over the years. This set a new precedent. I think they hit the ceiling with this one, both of the bumps, the one off the top of the cage. And those of us that have actually been in a ring and made our living in a ring, we know what that second one from the top of the cage, through the cage to the bottom, down to the mat, that's the one that just gave me chills because I know how that had to feel. I fell off the apron, flat on my back on the cement with the pad down, even with, you know, that goes around the ring, and it just jars the life out of you. And that's only about 3 or 4 feet. Can you imagine the top of the cage all the way down?
That, you know, and I don't know if we may have talked about it. My memory is just getting terrible, all the shows and things that we've done together. But Arn, is there one bump that sticks out to you through your career? Maybe one or two, I don't know. That sticks out to you as, my God, I will never forget the pain that I felt after taking a bump like that. Just thinking about what Mick Foley's done to his body.
I tell you, I was managing Cody at an AEW event, and I want to say it was Atlanta. And I was up on the apron, and he ran into me, and I went off. Nope, let me back that up. Prior to that, I was trying to shoot around from the apron. I popped up on the apron. I was trying to go around the post to get on the other side of the post. But for some reason that day, I didn't go out and look at the dimensions. I wasn't aware that it was the piece of steel that runs across the top of the turnbuckle was longer than anyone I'd ever did that. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
When you just shoot around the post.
Yep.
And I reached out to grab it and slipped and went off and hit flat on my back. And it, like I said, it was only 3 or 4 feet. Now I am older and things hurt a lot more. And it was just one of those things that it jarred the life out of me. And I was able to catch my breath enough to actually pop up on the apron again and get knocked off kind of on my feet. But that's the one that, just because of, you know, I guess because I wasn't expecting it, I didn't have time to adjust. That one really shook me up.
It's one of my good, dear, close personal friends, Efren, longtime fan of the show, longtime fan of you, Arn. One of the things that always has freaked him out, one of the many things that has always freaked him out, though, is watching guys like you and others that have served the business for so long, done such a wonderful job, now maybe walking talent down, coming down a ramp. Bret Hart, I think about him too at one point, because I think he carried the title off, the AEW title off, and there might have been a slip. Having that type of a fall at this point in your career, and how scary that is. You talked about trying to walk around the outside of that ring post. One misstep. You guys are in your 60s now and things like that. It's different. It's not as nimble, and that's normal. It's expected. And that's just a little scary for us fans, especially who really love and appreciate all you've done for the business. So when you talk about that bump, that was scary.
Well, you can't take anything for granted. You know, the steps with each company that are on the floor for you to walk up to get in the ring, some are completely flush where they don't move 1 inch. And some, when you step up on that second step, they wobble a little
Yeah.
bit. And that's all it takes if you're not expecting it.
And if
take
you're
a-
not doing it over and over again, right? You're out there for just a quick minute or so.
Yeah, that can turn out to be something that used to be just ridiculous to even consider. Well, what do you mean you got hurt because the stairs wobbled? But when you're in your 60s, you're not as sure-footed as what you used to be, and it don't take much.
We're started this off talking about Mick Foley, and we have some time here before we jump into November, and we're talking about the bump he took. And remember, that chair followed in and smacked him in the mouth, the tooth in the nose, the whole bit. It was just crazy. Well, we had our first super chat about it, and it's from none other than Yambag Jones. And so I'm just looking at you because you're just like, what's about to happen here? It's good, trust me. He says, Yambag says, how many zeros would need to be on the end of that check for you to take that Hell in the Cell bump, Arn?
That's one that there wouldn't be enough, because there's a pretty good chance I'd be dead. Mick Foley is built, and it was in the cards for him to take that bump. I don't know that anybody else on earth could have escaped that, even as bummed up and beat up as he had to be the next morning. I don't know of anybody else that would agree to that, who could take that and actually come out of it alive. He may be the only one.
Yeah, Yambag said it in the chat. There isn't enough. So I mean, think about it. Who else? I
Can't
to your
spend it
point,
if you can't spend it if you're dead.
right.
And
Bingo.
a lot of people have been killed, and I hate to be this dramatic, but with a lot less.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people in normal society have went up to clean their gutters out or something on their house, and ladder fall backwards and with on top of them? And I mean, God knows it, day-to-day stuff. It doesn't take much to kill you. And it just, to me, it was just horrified. I just thought to myself, well, if he makes it out of this, we've finally hit the ceiling. There's a barometer to everything, and there's a stopping point to everything, and we just saw it. Not once, but twice in the same match.
Some of you guys and gals have asked about World War III, which we're going to get to part of the show. So I've starred your question. We're going to ask some of those questions. CG says, good evening, Paul and Arn. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. Always a pleasure to see you both. So Tim, Daisy, we're going to get to some of your World War III questions and keep some of those coming. I love to be on topic.